Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a fun little release, and I do mean little because they're mini, from Melt Cosmetics. This is the mini bad side Zodiac eyeshadow palettes. There are 4 to represent the 4 Zodiac elements, and I got all 4, so we're going to talk about them, swatch them in 2 different lightings, and I've got a little montage of me trying on all, though you are getting a sneak preview of one of them right now. All right, let's talk about it. The Melt Mini Bad Side Zodiac eyeshadow palettes are limited edition, as I said, and they are $38 each. They are kind of small little guys, each one containing 8 shades, so it's certainly enough shadow. And the fun thing about this is characteristically melt. What do I mean by characteristically melt? Melt has kind of a dark take on things. Remember, they're the ones that had the Beetlejuice collaboration, and they like and they talk a lot about death and you know, Dia de Muerte and things like that. They really like to look at things. They're on the upswing, but they like the pretty side of dark. That's a good way to say it. And these palettes deal with, as I said, the 4 Zodiac elements, but the reason they're called the bad side Zodiac eyeshadow palette is they deal with the negative traits of all 4 of the elements. And if you really think about the Zodiac, you guys, the negative traits are often emphasized, really, right? I admit, I love kind of the lunar, like I'm a pig, you know, I love that, but I've never really been that much into the kind of astrology and horoscope, but I know my daughter is, and some of you might be, so you can talk to us about that in comments. But it seems like that it's always emphasized. I'm a Capricorn, for instance, and I'll always hear, you are successful because you're tied to your job and you constantly work, which is actually true. I am tied to, I am pretty intense. But they often focus on these parts of our personalities based on the Zodiac. For instance, let me tell you what I mean. So we have the Earth palette. Let me show it to you here in a pan. And these are, of course, earthly looking shades, aren't they? And the Earth elements, they say they will help you relax because, you know, if you're an Earth, if that is your presiding Zodiac element, I guess you have trouble relaxing. You guys that are into astrology will better help us understand this in comments. Here is the Water palette. Of course, they have those blue water shades, and they tell you that it matches the tears that are always in your eyes. Are you water sign people criers? I don't think I'm a water sign. I gotta look up what I am and put it down here. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm a Capricorn. Okay, fire, I guess that's explanatory. The fiery personality. I gotta look up what I am. Put what you are below, your element. You can put what your sign is, but I want to know your element too, and if you think these fit you. Water, are you guys criers? Earth, do you guys need to chill? Fire, are you fiery? I guess hot-tempered. There's fire. And then we have air. Now they say that that air is what I'm wearing right now, and they say those of you that are air signs are overthinkers because it says don't overthink it. It says do not overthink it. So I guess air signs are overthinkers. I bet I'm an earth sign. I'm gonna have to put it right here. I'm gonna look up what I am. Okay, so they focus on those negative traits, which is kind of fun. And you know, they all have mattes and metallics. Basically then what, you know, earlier I said that Melt Cosmetics likes to look at the pretty side of dark. And sure enough, their materials about this says that these weaknesses that we have can be our strengths. And it's kind of like I said earlier, they'll often say to me, you're a Capricorn, so you're like married to your work, but because of that, you're a success, you know, that kind of thing. I think that's really common in Zodiac type readings. Again, you guys can tell me. All right, here's what I've done. I've done a monumental collage of all of these together. You've got to look at these on my arm. We'll do it in 2 different lightings. First, we have studio lighting. So we have up top, the top row, on the left is earth, and on the right is water. The bottom row on the left is fire, and on the right is air. You overthinkers. Oh, that was a bad pun. Take a look at that there again. Upper left is earth, and on the right is water. Below is fire, and on the right is air. And what I have done, as you see with the swatches, is I have laid out just like the palettes are in the pan so that you see them as they go. Let's take a look now at these exact same swatches. I'll remind you what's what. Outside in the warm California sunshine, also on my arm. Take a look there. Again, top is earth next to water over by the wrist. And on the bottom, the inside swatches are the Fire palette and the outside is Air. I suppose you'd like to know how these last and how these perform, as it is true that sometimes Melt Cosmetics can be a bit hit and miss. I keep saying that, but to be honest with you, it was years ago. Years ago, I had trouble with their palettes, and I used to love the Melt stacks. I've liked the palettes recently, so maybe I ought to drop that little caveat that I always put on there. Let's go to a montage of me applying all 4 of these eyeshadow palettes, and then let's come back and talk about the performance. Stay right there. Which one was your favorite? You know what? I think actually, I like them all, but I think actually this one here that I'm wearing, Air, might just be my favorite. I'm starting to like purple. I've pushed myself. If you've been with my channel a long time, you know I have a hit and miss relationship with the shade purple. The color purple. Not the book by Alice Walker. I love that book, but the shade, the actual shade. So let me tell you, these last a really nice long time. I think they perform beautifully. The mattes are not dusty. They build nicely. They're not overly saturated, but they're not weak either. The complaint that we've been hearing about, say, Urban Decay shades, we don't have that here. They swatch beautifully and go onto the eyes very nicely. When built up on top of each other, they do not muddy. I believe that when I was using it, each shade was its own standout shade, including when it was combined, so nothing went kind of muddy and ugly. And I have been wearing this all day. I am so busy right now, you guys. I'm sure you are all too, but I'm just running around and my car has broken down and all sorts of craziness. So I have been just all around today, and this has really lasted nicely on me. You're seeing this after quite a few hours of wear in the heat and, you know, stress and all that. I think it's doing really, really well. Am I acting like a Capricorn? All right, so I want to know what you guys thought. Did you pick up one of these, or are you crazy like me, Capricorn, and got all 4? Let me know what your thoughts are. I always want to hear from you in our community and comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, do make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that I can see you all in the next video. I would love for you to come say hello to me over on Instagram and on TikTok too. And remember that you can become a member of this channel by clicking the join button or the link for behind the scenes videos and special member only lives. I'll see you all really soon. Bye-bye.